You are watching On Hallowed Ground, the 150th commemoration of the Battle of Gettysburg. Here again is Richard French.
After the third and final day of battle on July 3rd, 1863, the town of Gettysburg, it had been changed forever. As the sun rose in the morning of July 4th, the scene, it remained one of almost unimaginable carnage as well as chaos. In addition to the thousands who lay dead, including those from New York and New Jersey, many more were mortally wounded and would die before the sun went down. Writing in his diary the night before the final battle and the ill-fated Pickett's charge, Confederate General John B. Hood predicted a terrible toll if the Confederacy were to prevail.
I knew that if the feat was accomplished, it must be at a most fearful sacrifice of as brave and gallant as soldiers as ever engaged in battle.
But the Confederacy did not prevail, in part because soldiers from New York and New Jersey had given the fight everything they had. And a more violent fight is hard to imagine. A monument to the New Jersey Regiment marks the spot where some of its men died.
But see, Burling's brigade was all New Jersey men, for the most part, and they were getting parceled out to different parts of the field. So all of a sudden they're getting shot at from several directions, so they started to fall back in this direction, back across the wheat field. But this field here would change hands 6 times altogether. And he said by the time it was over, you could have walked all the way across it from end to end, from here to those trees, on the bodies.
While, as we have noted, historians still debate the exact cause of the war, most do agree that the blood shed over the 3 days of almost unimaginable death and destruction was a pivotal event in the Civil War. However, there is no debate that the war would ultimately bring an end to slavery, reunite a divided North and South, and create a nation in which a black man or woman was no longer property, but a person.
You will have any number of opinions as to why the war was fought, but when it comes down to it, slavery is literally the backbone of it.
And it was a fight in which brother really did fight brother.
That's actually true, and there are several examples. The particular one from Gettysburg are the brothers Culp, C-U-L-P. Culp's Hill, the end of the federal line. One brother is in the north, the other has married and gone south, and wind up fighting each other at Gettysburg on the 2nd. No, I'm sorry to say that one of them was certainly killed there, and the other died a little bit later in the war.
It was also a fight for a cause in which Abraham Lincoln deeply believed. In a letter to a friend written in 1864, Lincoln said, quote, "I am naturally anti-slavery. If slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. I cannot remember when I did not so think and feel." And while some may consider it of little importance given his role as leader of the Confederate forces, Confederate General Robert E. Lee has his defenders. They often cite a letter written 7 years before the Battle of Gettysburg as evidence that Lee fought for states' rights first and to preserve slavery a far distant second.
Slavery as an institution is a moral and political evil in any country. It is useless to expatiate on its disadvantages. I think it, however, a greater evil to the white man than to the black race. Coming up next, a visit to the Soldiers' National Cemetery, where those who fell at Gettysburg slumber in eternal rest. And later, hear it word for word, the immortal Gettysburg Address. On Hallowed Ground, the 150th commemoration of the Battle of Gettysburg will continue on Richard French Live.